So these last couple of days, I've been having a lot of conversations around like domestic violence and how people tend to get caught up in the cycle of abuse. So I was asked the question, how do people miss the signs? And I was like, that's a good question. How do they miss the signs? A lot of the times, domestic violence doesn't go straight for the hitting or, the physical things. It typically starts with the emotions first, right? So I thought about some good old intergenerational trauma and learned behavioral patterns. Think about your first experiences with emotions and really just understanding them all together. I'm going to use the Black community because, hello, a lot of us with our caregivers, those are our first experiences with emotions. They will whoop us, berate us, belittle us, and turn around and be nice. Don't pretend y'all don't know what I'm talking about. When you got a good whooping and you take a nap and you wake up and dinner's ready, it's spaghetti in there. Don't act like y'all know what I'm talking about. Or you could have been a kid that grew up with the yelling parent, the parent that was always yelling about something. And again, they would turn around and be nice. Despite having an abundance of resources at our fingertips, a lot of parents parent the way that they were parented, and that tends to show up long-term in those intergenerational trauma. Now keep that in your noggin. We got the caregivers who berated, belittled, yelled at us, hit us, would turn around and be nice. This is consistent. Keep in mind, this is an ongoing thing until you turn of age 18, you're able to get out on your own. Now, fast forward to those learned behavioral patterns. Think about when you started dating and babe will get mad at you and give you the silent treatment. This person will be ignoring your messages, not calling you. Sometimes you'll get ghosted for a few days or your text message is ignored. That's where that conditioning comes in at. All they got to do is hit you with I'm sorry, babe, a lot was going on, or sorry, babe, XYZ. And you right back in a loop because they turned around and they were nice to you. You're 100% aware that you don't like the way that you felt when you were being ignored and the person wasn't responding to you, but you could see that they were active on social media. This is normalized inconsistency. You were taught at a young age that love and pain could coexist with each other. So now that you're an adult, you're not able to recognize that dysfunction. That emotional manipulation feels familiar because that dysfunction was a part of your home environment. So you're not recognizing all that push and pull as a red flag because it's something you were conditioned to be okay with. So when a person is bouncing between kindness, aka the honeymoon phase, and being rude and mean, aka the abuse, your nervous system is regulated because that's familiar to you. Because this dysfunction is so familiar, you start rationalizing the mistreatment. Maybe they were joking. Maybe they did have a lot going on. I don't need to nag him. I need to stick around because he ain't never had a ride or die. But to wrap this up in a pretty little bow, that intergenerational trauma and those learned behavioral patterns are typically how people miss the cycles of abuse. In our childhoods, when dysfunction is normalized, in our adult relationships, we will start to rationalize, we will make excuses, and be completely oblivious to the emotional abuse or manipulation that most of us, unfortunately, will experience throughout our lives dating if we choose to do so. And because we've had these experiences with our caregivers, a lot of people do grow into adulthood and seek out those familiar relationship patterns. And this is what we typically see in DV cases or, people who experience intimate partner violence. But a way to combat this is to really hone in on that self-love, look for healthy experiences of love or healthy relationships in general. And if it don't feel right, just know you don't have to deal with that. If it don't feel good to you, you don't have to stick around for that. And y'all know I don't be talking on these apps, but I had to reflect on my own personal experiences with coming to emotional intelligence and recognizing emotional abuse and manipulation, and just really remembering that I have high self-esteem and I really think highly of myself. I had to remember that I don't have to deal with a man that's being mean to me. I don't have to deal with the man who ignores me or ghosts me for a few days when he don't get his way, so I don't.